Alrighty, so here we are, back with the walls, and we have them all sprayed up and everything like that. Now I was going to do an edge highlight to a lot of these portions here, but I was also going to come back in with some red and fill in some of these ledges in here so that they're really uniform, just so that, you know, they tie off really close to the bone color and everything like that. But I'm thinking of doing a gold edge highlight on a lot of portions. It's on the uppermost portions as well as here. I was even thinking, I don't know, maybe like little front symbols here, I don't know. And I'm also thinking of hitting the entire face with red now. Especially if I'm going to try and put chevrons in here where I have no idea where they're going to go. The only thing I can think of for chevrons is right in this space here. But I don't know. Like maybe little tiny ones starting just in the upper corner here and kind of pointing downwards. Maybe just small ones, and then just have a little small Samhan logo right in there. I have to reseal this because it's fairly bumpy surface, where as opposed to having a symbol here where it's nice and smooth. You can see in the camera here how much light is reflected versus in here you can kind of see it. You can see a little bit of bumpiness to it, and so that if I put the transfer on there, it may not adhere properly. I don't know. Anyway, let's try an edge highlight and let's see how that looks. See if I absolutely hate it or not. So I'm going to be using some Scale 75 Metallics Citrine Alchemy. This is a really bright gold color. It's really kind of heavy on the yellow spectrum. And of course, got a little bit of a claw going on here. And still have a claw going on. Oftentimes I'll keep one of these little tools here, these little scribes handy for freeing up clogs. Although you guys gotta be careful, especially with some of these dropper style bottles. This nozzle is separate from the rest of the bottle, as it just kind of plugs in. And if you pull too fast or too quickly, it'll pull that whole nozzle and just make a gigantic friggin' mess on your table, and that's no fun. Okay, what's going on here? Alright, let's grab a regular old base coating brush, some long bristles. Let's grab some of this color here, turn this into a chisel, and let's start edge highlighting. And again, with the Citrine Alchemy, it's a gold color, so it'll lay out fairly evenly, fairly nicely, and fairly quickly. It's really smooth. I really like these Scale 75 colors. If you've never seen me use them before, I do enjoy them. I definitely would recommend them to anybody who's looking for some more thinner body paints, good for airbrushing. These are initially designed, I believe, for the airbrush, but using them out of your paintbrush works just as good. They're nice and thin. They flow really well. So really quickly, I'm just throwing on this quick, fast edge highlight on everything. It's not totally apparent right away, as you can see there. Does it need the edge highlight? Probably not, but if I'm going to go back over this with the With the red, I'm probably going to want it because that way the red will sit on top of it and provide a brighter color there. So I was thinking of doing like some of these things here, but there's no good edge to catch it off of. I was even thinking of running this through the airbrush and brightening up the bottom a bit. That's still even a possibility. Of course, one thing I don't think I've shown on the camera is I got the stones base coated and got the guns base coated and did the end nozzles here. They're kind of like jet nozzles, but either way they're done. They're ready to go for the next phase, which will be no idea. Kind of making this up as I go. But again, I think I'm going to go more red. I do like the transition, but I think I'm going to push it just a little bit further. And so if I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. I'm thinking really hard. It's been a while since, oh shoot, too much there. That's the beauty of painting this stuff right on top of a varnish, because you can just easily wipe it right off. It's still sticking to the paint just fine, but it's just a little bit extra protection. Again, you do have to do it after using the Minotaur ghost tints. I find, in my experience, that the color bleeds through. Oops, too much there too. The color bleeds through when you apply another layer on top without sealing the ghost tint, which just becomes a huge pain. A huge, huge, huge pain. Maybe I should turn the camera off while I'm doing this portion. I think you guys kind of get what I'm getting done here, I think. And I'll just show you guys when I'm done this section, just so that I don't feel like I have to be entertaining for the camera. I can just concentrate on my work. Of course, I know some of you guys get a kick out of this stuff, but it's kind of distracting, you know. But I guess it allows you guys, some of you guys, to see the whole process of which I go through when I paint my models, which is really not that different, really, I think, from a lot of painters out there. You know, a lot of people just kind of go through and just kind of hammer through their work and go about doing their stuff. La-dee-da. After looking at it some more, I do like the edge highlight now. I'm liking it, giving it just a little bit more definition. Also, the other thing I was thinking of doing was this ring right here. This ring reminds me of some of the patterning on my Phantom Titan. It seems like an old school design, and I was thinking of doing it black with a bit of a texture, but again, I don't want to throw too many colors onto this thing because, you know, it is just a defense wall. It's not, you know, a centerpiece or anything like that, really. So the walls with the edge highlight, I think, stand up a little bit better. Gives a little bit more definition, a little bit more shine to the metal. But we'll see. you make a little boo-boo. Just to wipe it right off. Just clean it up really quickly here. Yeah, I think the wall section look far better. That little edge highlight on there. As opposed to the side that doesn't have it. Again, it just gives it just a little more definition. I'm even thinking with the Citrine Alchemy of coming in with the airbrush and spraying kind of upwards at the walls. Or maybe downwards. Depends. I think more upwards though. Or maybe just kind of straight on, just kind of catch it. Maybe, you know, pronounce more gold here, you know, a little deeper back there. Just to make things a little bit more pronounced. Okay, that's gonna bug me. My little ice pick. Oh, for God's sakes. Of course, that's the other danger when you have a friggin' clog. Too much paint comes out. This wall section is a little trickier to edge highlight. It's got a rounded edge to it. Actually, I'm not crazy about the edge highlight on it. I think I'll leave it alone. Yeah, so I think I'm going to kill it at this point, and then I'll show you guys once it's done. So as you can see, all the walls have been done. They do look pretty snazzy with the little edge highlighting on them. I sort of did it to the anti-aircraft gun, just along the base, the pedestal part. I was going to start doing it on the guns themselves, but I don't know. Might go with more of a normal kind of red highlighting on that instead of the gold. I don't know. All depends. It always depends. And so now I am going to come in with the gold though and see how that all looks, because again this gold does go on pretty bright. Probably don't need that much, but we'll see. Yeah, let's try just up the center. killed a little bit of the gold, but I think I kind of like it because I'm going to come in with more red now, so I am liking the brighter tone of it rather than this solid kind of yellowy gold. Brighten up that little point right there. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. Tip, 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 tip. Dry tip. Yeah, so as a quick comparison here, you can kind of see this one is a lot brighter than that one. And then, of course, because I'm going to come in with more red, it should really start to really pop by then. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Tip. gold. Probably should hit it with a little bit thinner, but oh well. Just clean that off. There we go. Now, for these things, I think I'm going to leave the guns as is. I like the deeper color. What's up? Just being nosy?
Yeah.
Snooping?
Cool.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds here. I gotta flush.
Yep.
So, that's it for the gold. Time to flush out the brush, and then we're gonna come in with some red. Okay, so now, the moment of truth. Ooh, some water here. Some spillage. Comes the moment of truth now, as I am going to begin laying out the Angron Red Clear from Forge World. It should be the same as Minotaur's Fresh Blood, but we will see if they do compare. We used Fresh Blood many times on models, and so we are going to see. Give it a quick little shake here, and you can see it now. Right off the hop, when I'm looking at it, it looks a lot more red than Fresh Blood. Fresh Blood actually has like a little bit of a deeper magenta kind of look to it when I compare them. But comparison will be coming along soon enough on these paints with the other line. Pouring it wasn't too bad. Usually it's a pain in the ass to pour these pots. So, let's have a look. Sits on top of the gold really nicely. Nice and bright. Not too bad, kind of like that. Not too bad at all. This actually gives you a really nice deep red. So let's try it again. Yeah, I'm definitely liking it. Dry tip. Seems to suffer dry tip just as quickly as regular Miniature will. Oops. So as you can see already how that red is starting to look compared to how they used to look. And I'm definitely liking the deeper red on it as well. I have no idea really how long it takes for this stuff to dry. Looks like it's already pretty dry once it's started to set there. Dry tip. There we go. I will say that I'm definitely enjoying the deeper red tones here now. I'm starting to feel a little bit more like salmon or something, you know? It's probably too much. Dry tip. Again, you can probably tell I'm really quiet because I'm really into what I'm doing here. Because, again, I am really digging the deeper red tone now. Sitting on top of that brighter metallic. Yeah, definitely liking it a lot more. Okay, since there seems to be still quite a bit in there, we are going to restore it by pouring the rest back into the pot. There. Time to flush, and that is it. Let it dry, and then we'll have a look at it later on. Alrighty, so we've got all the color laid out. I'm digging the red now so much better on these models. But now I have to seal them again because I'm not 100% sure if the if this paint will transfer when you lay color on top of it. I've not read too much on Forge World, the clear colors, so definitely try putting them through their paces soon enough. But as you can see here, how much more Samhan feeling, and even the edge highlights I threw on there earlier, they all still stayed, and like they're tinted obviously, but everything has got a nice look to it now. So I'm really happy. So now we're going to seal these things again, and so really quickly here, just the same as before, I'm going to use Future Floor Polish to seal these guys. This is basically similar to just using gloss medium, but it flows really well. Goes through the airbrush just fine, cleans up out of the airbrush just fine. Although I do a double Windex kind of wash afterwards, just to make sure, because again, this stuff does seem kind of sticky at times. I think what I'm going to do to it is I'm going to go over both sides, because the back side has got this bone color, and I'm going to hit it with a protectant anyway, and then I can always come in and hit it with a matte if I want to take that side down again, because I kind of like the contrast between the matte side and the glossy side. I just kind of like the whole look of it all. But anyway, let's get to varnishing. So once again, I'm just laying this stuff nice and heavy on here. This stuff just goes on and gives it almost like a glass-like finish, as you can see there. Again, the reason why I'm also sealing it as well is for the wall sections that have the little partition in the middle. It's not very smooth, where I'm thinking that I want to throw a chevron and the Samhan logo. And so I need to get those a little bit smoother, so we're going to use the shade, or the varnish here, to get us to that point where I can lay transfers down and they'll stay on nice and smooth. Again, that's another important part of varnishing your models, protecting them. So that, again, you can also do other effects like laying the transfers down and they'll stay on nice and smooth. This stuff I've been using for a long time to varnish my models. Use it on my on all my Eldar flyers. Give them all that nice glossy shine. And again, this is a really great way of sealing your models and not costing a whole lot either. I mean, the bottle cost me like $5, and I don't know how much sealant I've gotten out of it, but it's been a ton. Starting to build up on my fingers. Just a little bit more. Again, you can see it doesn't take a whole lot to go pretty far. It gives you this really slick kind of look on the models. I really like. The guns. Yeah, it's starting to get kind of tacky feeling here. Go through this stuff pretty quick, though. I laid quite a bit on that base, though. Oops. Too much. That's okay, so I think we'll start doing the back sides as well, because I think they're dry. Yeah, it's pretty dry. Fingers getting sticky, there's buildup on my gloves. It's the same with anything though, you just build up on your gloves and you're holding all these parts. That is that. I think really quickly here I'm going to change out my glove. Because it's just too darn sticky and kind of, you probably can't see it that well. But it's interfering with, you know, holding onto the model. As I mentioned before, I go through a lot of gloves. A lot. When you're spraying this stuff too, you should be wearing a dust mask as well. Just because this stuff does fly through the air pretty darn good. Pretty easily. Yeah, these sides feel good. So, let's grab these. These will be the first ones. Put you guys back there. Oop. Oh, yeah, see there's transference. That needs more time to dry. That's it. Next is clean, and then we'll head off to do something else. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe we're done.